and we're out here on my deck in Portland, Oregon. It's a cool day, even though it's July. Nobody got the memo. That's summertime. Today we're talking about I don't give a sit. Those people who know me and know my training hear me say that a lot. One of the things that we see, and why do I say that, is we see clients all the time who ask their dog, as soon as they come to the door, sit, 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 sit. I don't give a sit about your dog sitting as we come in the door. So that's one place where we see it. We see it all the time where strangers come up to my own dogs and they'll ask them, oh, can I say hi? With my friendly dogs, I say yes. And they immediately ask my dogs to sit. Well, first of all, they don't have a relationship with my dogs. Why should my dogs listen to a stranger asking them to sit who doesn't have any cookies and they have no relationship with and they could care less about? And why is the stranger even asking me my dog to sit? Who cares? But also, it's about traditional thoughts on your dog should sit for everything. Back in the beginning of positive dog training, there was this whole mentality of sit to say please. And we really need to get away from sit to please. Who cares? One of the big things we want to think about with the sit to say please is as our dogs age, usually it's not a practical situation for them. Lindy's we'll interrupted by Lindy being frustrated that her ball got under the chair and I can't ignore it or she'll keep barking. So we think about as dogs age, can they even sit? Maybe the flooring surface isn't appropriate for sitting. There's so many different things that go into asking a dog to sit that I don't really care about that position. What I'm looking for is my dog be in control. So a lot of times we ask for that sit to avoid jumping on strangers, but do we really need the sit or do we just need not jumping? And if we just need not jumping, what does it look like? And for most dogs, it just means 4 feet on the floor. If we can do 4 feet on the floor and start teaching our dogs that that's the desired behavior, they don't need to sit. So how can we change that mentality in puppy classes out there, in basic dog obedience? So often our basic dog obedience and puppy classes are a positive spin on traditional obedience classes. I used to be a very heavy traditional obedience person. I loved it dearly. I trained my dog to a utility level using all positive methods. Been there, done that. Not really my thing so much anymore, but that's okay. But when you look at our puppy classes out there, that's what they're based on, is competition obedience skills into people's lives. But most people don't need those skills. They just need a good pet dog to hang out with and be polite in their house. They need the dog to not jump on the counters. They need the dog to not jump on people walking in. They need that politeness, but that doesn't have to be a sit. So the reason why I got, besides that I always talk about the subject, but the reason why I really got into my idea is I, as a trainer, went and took a class with my own dog last night. Yes, trainers do need to take classes with their dogs. And I'm super excited. I'm taking a class with Bobby Lyons, this class about rear end awareness. And I brought Lindy in, and we realized that he has a broken default stand, which I was really surprised about, because one of the very first things I teach my dogs is how to stand and get rewarded for standing still instead of sitting. Lindy also has some neurological issues in her back end, so sometimes sitting isn't actually very physically comfortable for her. She would prefer to lay down or to stand. But since we've been home on quarantine, my husband's been doing a lot of training with her, and he sits easy for kids to teach. It's easy for kids to reinforce. And so all of a sudden now I have a broken default stand. I was like, oh, how did that happen? Well, it happened because it wasn't reinforced. Behaviors which are reinforced will reoccur. If you haven't been reinforcing your default stand, it won't happen. So we're going to do a little bit of training on Lindy's default stand to get it back, because I need it for that class. And then we're going to talk about other default behaviors also. So let me go get her going. And so I'm going to use a clicker today because I like the consistency of it. And hey, good job. So one of the things you want to think about when you're teaching a default stand is if you reward up, you get a sit. So just like she did there. If you reward low, you're going to get a bow or a down. So what I'm super happy about, she's actually, even after last night of reminding her that a default stand exists, got it again, which is great. Toss a cookie to give her a chance to do it again. And there's my sit, I figured. So I'm going to capture that moving forward right now, just getting her up and moving. And notice I gave a long duration treat. I really want standing there is valuable for her. Yeah, so I'm going to click really soon. I clicked with the stand, then she gave me the sit. I'm going to feed for position, which is back in that stand. So the trick with getting that default stand, bad click, is clicking fast before they have an opportunity to sit. And then notice how I'm feeding. I'm feeding with her head close to the ground, not high, not too low, so that she can stay standing. Get it? Yes, good job. That's good, because that is a behavior that recently would have gotten the sit after the stand. That's a big treat, wasn't it, little girlie? Oh. I'm going to give her a hand touch, something to do instead. Toss the cookie, try again. Catch it before she even stops. Good. She loves to train, and she gets super excited with the training. Good. Free. Yes. Nice. So I gave her a free. She gave me a little spin. Then we got to sit. Yes. Good. What I'm happy about is right now, for the most part, she's giving me a nice moment after the click before she's giving me that sit. We'll see if she. Oh, we had it for a second there. Lost it again. Catch that stand coming in. Yay, good girl. And one of the other things we can start to do with this stand, once we capture it, is work on some slow motion feeding to see if she can maintain it, which she cannot yet, as you saw there. Yes, oh, we had it. She saw, we had a moment of hesitation before going to that sit. Can you tell she likes to train? So people are probably questioning, what am I rewarding? I'm clicking that stand and rewarding, even if she sits in it after the click, because I'm really looking for what am I clicking. Good girl. All right. All right, I'm going to add some treats to her treat ball so she can go entertain herself, because she's going to want to keep training. So that was a long session. If I was doing training by myself, I wouldn't necessarily do that long of a session with her. You could see her getting a little ramped up with the tossing of the treats. She's super excited. We gave her, there's that default sit again. Good job. All right, we'll give her that. And because my dogs are slimy when I train, I go ahead and keep a rag now in my training bag. Oh, hey, Gabby and Laura and Kira. So nice to see you. Tona's Touch says, I don't give a sit. Yep, we don't give a sit. So like I said, that's a really quick in-person training. There's a lot of stuff that I'm sure when I watch the video, I'll go, oh, I shouldn't have clicked that, because that's what happens when training live and trying to talk, all that kind of stuff. But one of the things you want to think about, so besides the default stand, which we want to train and grab, those of us who do confirmation, that's why Lindy had a default stand, is I always teach a default stand for all my dogs, but especially if I'm going to be doing confirmation, and that's where I started with Lindy. And so I was really surprised that we've lost it a little bit. So we're just going to go back and refresh it so that we have it for that class that I need. But the other things we want to think about for our clients and for our pet dog people is what other type of default behaviors are helpful around the house and in the work. So I do teach the default stand, but I also teach, as you saw, there's a default sit, a default down. Right now there's a default spin, which I find super cute and hilarious, because I love my dogs and I like it when they're cute and do things like throw spins at me. My older dog her defaults kind of go in the order in which I train them. And usually there is a stand and then a down. She tends not to give a default sit that often. It's not her favorite position. She will give heel position. She will also give a right spin, because she loves that behavior too. Lindy's new default is middle or peekaboo, as we like to call it. And so that's another one. But, so we think about what behaviors are helpful in and around your house as default behaviors. A down is great. A default down is super important. You're not jumping on people. You're not getting on the counter, doing all sorts of other stuff like that. So how can we, how do we teach that concept? So I'm going to actually probably break my nice little default stand that I've been working on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working on a variety of default behaviors for Lindy to offer me. So she's going to, like I said, she'll offer me the spin, she'll offer me it, she'll probably give me the down, but our foundation default behavior always is autofocus or eye contact. So we'll start with that and we'll move a ton of cookies left. So we'll see where we go with that. Lulu. So reward for coming back. She left her treat toy. Nice. So by catching just that eye contact, I actually avoided that first sit. There's a spin. It's a very cute default behavior. There's a sit. That's the only sit I'm going to reward right now. So I'm going to wait what else she gives me besides the sit. I don't love that little noise, but, built in, but that's okay. I'll take it for now. I'm going to ignore the spin at the moment, unless she gives me the other, which I don't think she will. It's not her preferred behavior. Barking is not the best default behavior. That is frustration at its finest. There we go. Good. A little calmer. Oh, God, that's a big cookie. Enjoy that one. Yay, that was nice. We got back into the stand there, which was great. She's thinking about going to steal the rag, nice slobber rag. Oh, thought I was catching it for the bark. We've been working on a backup behavior that is actually in a down position, which is what she's we have a backing up and stand. Oh, now we got backup going strong. Backup's also good to jumping on people while greeting. So now I'm going to stop doing that one. Good. We got that down. Nice. She gave me the chin target. Oh, there's the backup and the down and some barking. So we're going to end that session too, because that's ridiculous. We're going to go give her some go get it. So I'm going to wipe off my slobbery hand. So as trainers, we really need to think about, what's best for the dog, what is physically capable for them, but also what satisfies the needs of the client that the dog is capable of doing for them. So if we, snuffle mat time. So if we are, if our client is insisting on that sit, that sit can be really put the dog in a lot of conflict. And so if we are, especially when we're at the doors, places like that, or interacting with new people, and you can see the dogs and they're at the door, especially coming into our training facility, and they're like, oh, I don't know if I want to go in there. I've never been here. This is kind of weird. And the people are, sit. And the dogs are like, I don't think I can, which is also great information for us, but really lets you know about that conflict that's going on. Then we have the opposite issue is as we go down the road with the dogs starting to know our facility is they don't want to sit because they're too excited to come in. And you know what? I would much rather have a dog who doesn't want to sit because they're too excited to come in than because of conflict and not sure about that pressure that their person is giving on them. So really thinking about why are you using your sit? When are you using it? Do you even need to use it? And is it putting pressure on the dog? Is it putting social and physical pressure on them? Do they even are they physically capable of sitting? As they age, that definitely changes. My Rizzo, my older dog, she has some weakness in her rear end now that she's 10, and she really can't sit the way she used to be able to. So thinking about the big picture with that sit, I'm going to reload my snuffle mat because I don't want any more of that barking. So obviously, if I was not doing this live, I would do something different with my that little demand barking that's coming in. We're working on that in general, but sometimes my dogs bark. My joke is if you want to teach a dog demand bark, you can have them hang out with me. So I hope this opens up some ideas and thoughts about sit and why I don't give a sit. Oh, Kona's Touch asked, what are you clicking? And I was clicking. You might not have been able to hear it because I have actually just a little iClick with me. I don't have a box clicker, and I don't know if it was getting picked up by my headphones. But yeah, I had one of my one of my Bling clickers. So I was clicking with my Bling clicker. That so yeah, that's what I'm doing. All right. So any other questions about if you don't give a sit, please let me know, and we'd be glad to answer them. And we can take some changes into people's mindset, and especially in puppy classes. I'd really love to get away from sit, 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 sit. I know all of us trainers can't stand when clients do that, but just in general, if we just start working on other behaviors other than sit, what good can come out of it? I think a lot of good can come out of it. So I don't give a sit. I'm Sarah McLaughlin from Synergy Behavior Solutions in Portland, Oregon. Check us out at synergybehavior.com. We have a bunch of new classes and webinars coming up. We'll be doing Facebook Live again on Thursday with our other trainer, Lorena, and she'll be talking a little bit about adolescent dogs and living and trying to not kill them in their craziness of adolescence. So we hope you can join us for that. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thanks so much. Have a great day.